Good morning, everybody. Today we are going to begin the Unit 3. So as I usually do, I'm going to make the general explanation of what we are going to study in the in the Unit 3. And also we are going to see some vocabulary related with business interviews, because in this Unit 3 they talk about business interviews, traveling, and how to order food in a restaurant. So obviously, as we are businesswomen, we have sometimes to be in the human resources department or in a business company, and sometimes we have to travel to different cities or to different places or to different offices or headquarters. And it's important to know some vocabulary related with traveling, with, for example, airports. And also, in this lesson, we are going to study about how to order in the restaurant. So the kind of expressions you can use when you are having, for example, lunch with people from your company or other companies, and when you have the menu, what things you should ask for, and to look casual and confident in these specific circumstances. So to begin, I'm going to share the presentation of the Unit 3. I'm going to begin a bit. I'm going to wait until you see it. Okay. Okay, so in this lesson, which is basically about job interview preparations, I'm going to tell you the main ideas of this lesson, not only grammatically speaking, but also in the area of the vocabulary. And also I'm going to include 2 videos about how to prepare and interview, the steps, the usual questions that you can do. And also in this lesson, in the Dexway platform, they are going to talk about traveling. In this case, I'm going to concentrate in business traveling, and also I'm going to concentrate in other things that it is included in the Dexway platform, and which talks about order food when you go to a restaurant. So in this lesson or in the platform, they are concentrated or talking basically about the different ways to talk about finding a job, the creation of CV or resume with your laboral experience or your working experience. And also they and me, we are going to talk about the different processes, the different questions, the different interviews you probably are going to do as a recruiter or as the person who is looking for a job. So a part of this process of finding a job is related with some common vocabulary like this. So to apply for a job, girls, boys, to apply for a job is solicitar un trabajo. When you apply for something, tú solicitas algo. Es una de las palabras y verbos que os diría más importantes de saber. ¿Por qué? Porque en cualquier trabajo que tengáis que hacer, en el caso de hacer una solicitud, sea la que sea en inglés, el verbo es apply for. Y cuando tenéis que rellenar una solicitud, la solicitud en inglés, sea del tipo que sea, es application. Por eso me paro y os lo digo en español porque son dos palabras clave. Es decir, tú cuando vas a cualquier sitio, you go everywhere in Spain or in other country and you pides una solicitud, so you apply for an application or application form. So fill in a form, fill in a form is when you rellenas all the data about your life, about your date of birth, about your nationality, about your previous experience, about your degrees, your qualifications. Also, in this kind of working, searching processes, you have to talk about your work history. Your work history is your work experience, okay? Also, we are going to talk about adjectives like the other person can tell you, oh, it's impressive. You have been working for 7 years as a manager. Gaps in employment is the period, gaps in the employment, the periods and the vacation time you're going to have when you are applying for a job. So to take a year out or to take a gap year is pedir una excedencia o pedir un año sabático. I suppose in our cases as workers, you and me, we are going to take a year out or we are going to take a gap year, usually because you ask for an excedencia because perhaps for familiar reasons, for study reasons, well, these kind of things. Well, we are not living times, economical times, as asking for or taking a gap year. But well, if all of you or some of you are lucky enough to be able to take a gap year, congratulations. I have never had a gap year and I can do it, I can afford it, no puedo permitírmelo. So also when you go to an interview, this vocabulary is taken from the Dexway platform. When you go to apply for a job, sometimes in the interview, in the last decade, 15 years, one of the questions that in some companies they probably ask you is that if you do voluntary work. Voluntary work is ONGs, que en inglés las ONGs, chicos, se dicen charities. So, for example, it's important sometimes, have you ever collaborated with a charity? So, in many companies, I don't know if it is because of marketing or because of other circumstances, it's important to say that you are doing voluntary work in different charities. Of course, they are going to talk about your work history, which is your work experience. And finally, they can ask you about your qualifications. They can ask you about your skills. They can ask you about your studies, your degrees, your masters, your specialities, some specific courses that you can do. So in this unit 3, sorry, we are going to talk about the job processes in the searching for a work. Also, I have included in all the documents I have uploaded in the platform a presentation about the most famous of the searching engines for works or searching jobs engines, that is LinkedIn. So apart from LinkedIn, there are, and I have mentioned in the 2 courses, different search engines, but obviously and clearly the most famous one is without any doubt LinkedIn. So in this presentation of LinkedIn, not only I talk about LinkedIn, but also I include some videos talking about this search engine. So probably the videos we are not going to see during the class, but if you want to see some LinkedIn videos talking about the engine, talking about the possibilities of this social network, you have them included in the presentation. So it can be a way to know more things about LinkedIn, but at the same time to practice some important vocabulary for someone like in your case, who is or is going to be or is already an expert in this work field, work conditions, searching for jobs, interviews in the searching for jobs, etc. Also, I have told you that in the unit 3 of the Dexway platform, they talk about, well, different meetings. When you are a person, it doesn't have to be internationally speaking, but when you are a person who works for a company or who works for a business, obviously you have to arrange certain meetings, or you have to make certain meetings sometimes while or during you are eating out, or you are having lunch, or you are going to have a business lunch. When you have a business lunch, guys, sometimes you not only eat out after a meeting, but sometimes in this business lunch, not only in the business world, also in the educative world and in many worlds, you can do deals, acuerdos, you can get grips, llegar a acuerdos about different things, sign deals, firmar acuerdos. So that's why sometimes the business lunch or the business lunches are so important. Business lunch or business brunch. You know that brunch, brunch, brunch is the mixture, is la mezcla between breakfast and lunch. And now it's quite usual when you have conversations, sometimes about business, sometimes about your company, sometimes you are dealing with problems, or you are talking about some circumstances in your company, you do a brunch. The brunch is between the breakfast and the lunch, and the brunch is more or less at 11. So in this lesson, and as a part of your shaping as a person with capacity to talk and to have conversations and to have a relation with your coworkers, sometimes you have to go to restaurants. And when you go to restaurants, sometimes you have to order food, you have conversations about the job situation, etc. So also, obviously, in this kind of lunches, you not only, no solo, you not only talk about business stuff. Sometimes you talk about your likes and dislikes, you talk or you ask about preferences, you talk about your hobbies, your free time activities, because sometimes it's important to know your coworkers or your clients in other environments, and it's a way to create a little friendship with them. And sometimes this little friendship, or this is to know each other, is going to help to make other kind of negotiations or agreements with your company. Okay, so this situation is going to give us the opportunity, or give me the opportunity, to tell you how to express likes and dislikes, hobbies, and what you do in your free time. Also, as part of this unit, I have prepared two different videos. One is the previous steps, los pasos previos, when you are preparing an interview. So you are going to see the two sides. You as a person, how you prepare yourself in order to answer the questions, and how the other person, the recruiter, the person who asked the questions, the kind of questions, the kind of expressions you can use when you are preparing for the interview, how you prepare as the person who wants the job, and how the interviewer, you, the person who is the job recruiter, is thinking about the questions he or she is probably going to ask you. In the second video, we are going to see what are the most usual job interview questions and answers. So they are basic, but they are important. So what are the main questions you usually ask to your potential workers, and what kind of answers you are going to give as a potential person searching for a job. Also, it's important in this unit 3, we have some aims. Aims are objectives, okay? So, well, it's clear what the objectives the Dexway platform and discourse has. So to know some structures, to know some vocabulary related to your area of expertise, and to have small little conversations that can take place during your job or during your work. So also, apart from the business ideas, the work environment, the searching for a job, the importance of search engines like LinkedIn as a recruiter or as someone looking for a job. We are going to talk during these two sessions, because it's going to be another session with the unit 3, about traveling, a vocabulary about traveling, vocabulary which is relevant when you are in an airport. We are going to talk about trips, and also something important, we are going to talk about the weather. Imagine that you are someone who has to travel to different places, not only in Spain, but also in other countries. So it's important to understand and to know what kind of weather is going to be, because your dress, your appearance has to be in accordance with the weather you are going to have. Apart from this, we are going to make a review. Vamos a repasar otra vez the present perfect, el presente perfecto. And the expression how long. How long siempre va con presente perfecto y significa cuánto tiempo. Es decir, how long have you worked here? ¿Cuánto tiempo ha trabajado usted aquí? So present perfect. And we are going to see also expressions like have you ever. So here in this lesson, they talk that well, the most important grammar is going to be the present perfect with for, since, have you ever, we are going to see, and I'm going to upload some exercises about it. And also, well, we are going to talk about traveling, going to different places, the weather, order the menu when you go to different places, and these kind of things. So by now, hasta ahora, we have studied the simple present, the present continuous, the present perfect, which is the one they are concentrating on in the unit 2 and 3. We are going to see how long, which is cuánto tiempo, how long have you worked, how long have you been studying this degree or grade, etc. And we are going to see some expressions like for, since, or during, for, durante, since, desde, during, durante also. So for it, during is the same, okay? So I will upload some exercises with the answers, because in such a way you can practice tenses, you can practice the simple present perfect, for since, etc. Not only as part of grammar, but also as a way that you can use it when you are doing, for example, a writing, or you are answering some questions. So this is in general terms. This is in general terms what we are going to see during this lesson. So now, guys, now we are going to change the activity, and yeah, I'm going to share with you the things I have uploaded, in your documents, okay? So, well, I told you that here you have business and human resources vocabulary, okay? So there will be a day when I make a review of all this vocabulary in order you know, just in case you don't know some of the things. So in the 7th session, well, obviously in the, well, I have been doing different things. In the 7th session, okay, I have included in your documents the first thing, which is this, guys, the introduction to the unit 3. Also, I have included the explanation of LinkedIn, which includes some videos about how to work with this engine, and it's an opportunity for you to have more vocabulary and to see vocabulary in context. Also, I have uploaded, and I'm going to talk about the present perfect because it's part of the lesson. Recordad que el presente perfecto era sujeto más has o have más el verbo en participio. El verbo en participio es la tercera columna de los verbos irregulares, o simplemente poner el verbo nd si son regulares. Por ejemplo, si yo digo he trabajado durante 2 años aquí, eso sería I have worked for 2 years here. Pero he subido have you ever, que es también presente perfecto, porque normalmente en las entrevistas os vais a encontrar preguntas que van a empezar por have you ever, que significa ¿usted alguna vez, have you ever worked as a manager? ¿Usted alguna vez ha trabajado como manager? Have you ever worked in an international company? ¿Usted ha trabajado alguna vez en una compañía internacional? So, if so, si es así, how long? ¿Por cuánto tiempo? How long? So we are going to see this. Also, I have included how to order food. In this presentation, I have included the ways you are going to find your menu, the starters, the drinks, the first course, the second course, the dessert, the coffee, etc. And some words that are important. Please, can I have the bill, ¿Me trae por favor la cuenta? Or can I have a bit more of water? These kind of things. Also, I have prepared a presentation about job interviews. So, what are the most usual or recommendable questions and answers you are going to have in an interview? I have included for you vocabulary about job interviews, and also in relation with the exams, I have given or uploaded you an example of a reading, an example of possible writings. So, for example, talk me about your work experience, or talk me what kind of factory or company you work with, or talk me about the kind of worker profiles you would like to have in your company. Okay, and also I have uploaded you a reading which whose name is agile working. So when the factories or the business works or work fluently or smoothly. Okay, so well, this is for you to know. But now we are going to go to the presentation of the usual questions and answers. Give me a second. The usual questions and answers you can have or used. Give me a second. When you are in a job interview, as a person who is answering and as a person who is asking. Okay, so I'm going to share this presentation. Okay, so give me a second. Okay. So here I'm going to introduce you important ideas, important questions, important stuff when you are or you have an interview for a job, but from both sides, the person who is looking for the job, and for example, you, the person who is recruiting the potential people for the job. And also, we are going to talk about a bit about writing a resume. En inglés hay dos expresiones para hablar de hacerse, bueno, pues por favor envíame tu currículum, etcétera. Uno es resume, que seguramente es lo que más se utiliza, perdonad, y also they can tell you about a CB. A CB, CV, CB is give your curriculum vitae. So when you are preparing for an interview, you usually have a network of contacts, not only in LinkedIn, perhaps in your daily job life, you meet different people, and this creates different contacts who can be important for information and for the looking for a job or job hunting also. Okay, obviously when you look for a job, you are going to find a lot of job opportunities. So you have to be prepared for getting that job, okay? For example, in America, and this is quite curious, apart from the social network, the 80% of American companies also use still aún use newspaper ads to recruit employees. So they not only use the personal contacts, not only use the search engines, but also sometimes there are some newspapers specialized in the working, in the searching for different jobs, okay? So obviously, in this kind of newspapers, you're going to find all kinds of works, but sometimes in your university or in your high school or in your college, you are going to find bulletin boards and also jobs for counselors, teachers, possibilities of different jobs. So before you go to an interview, for example, imagine you go to an interview for IKEA, it's important that you find out, that you discover what is the business or organization about. Imagine that you see a post as a recruiter in an organization, but you don't know anything about that organization. So it's important that you find out, that you investigate about this organization. So obviously you can know about that organization going online with different search engines such as LinkedIn, or you can talk to your coworkers or to other people you know, to your contacts, in order to know what is the organization about or the business about, and well, what kind of job or what kind of environment I'm going to find if I work for that job, okay? So sometimes it's important, cuando vais a hacer una entrevista, no solo como recruiters, sino también como personas que vais a responder a unas preguntas, es importante que antes hagáis mock interviews. Mock interviews, todo lo que aparece en inglés con mock es de prueba. Es decir, un mock exam es un examen de prueba, un mock interview es una entrevista de prueba. So, mock es siempre, digamos, realizar anteriormente lo que previsiblemente vas a tener que hacer. So it's important when before going to the interview to make a mock interview or a pretend interview with someone, a friend, a relative, another professional, to practice that. How to answer interview questions? Well, it's important when you are answering questions, be careful with the answers, with the responses, and not to sound, no sonar, not to sound too plan, demasiado planeadas, or as if you were a robot. Also, you should use some techniques. So the techniques are, well, use poses, bridges are some words to go from a topic to another topic, and some expressions to make everything more fluent, and to have a bit of gesture body language, okay? So sometimes one of the most representative questions you are going to have are expressions like, tell me about yourself. So this is something that you can prepare a bit because this includes your personality, your family life, the hobbies, the things you like, the experience, your work, your grades, your qualifications, whatever. So also it's important to talk about your skills and abilities. The most important ones you want to stress, que quieres reafirmar, remark, stress, okay? And breaches are things like, bueno, ahora voy a hablar de, now I'm going to talk, o ahora voy a cambiar y voy a hablarte de, now I'm going to move on to this other topic. So transitions, okay? Also, the positive things you have as personality, as part of your job, etc. It's important that you make a remark or you make a stress in the key points of your personality or your professional life, okay? And if you are or if you have the opportunity, sometimes it's important to make the perfect environment, talking about some personal story about your job. It's important also when you make an interview to feel like someone is recording you, like if you are in television. So you have to not forget your body gestures, look at the person, to be stressful and to be clear in your answers. Okay, so also, well, it's important not to make a very long answers. Okay, well, it will depend on the situation. And about all, you have to sound true, an honest person. Okay, okay. If you have skills or abilities, but perhaps they are not important for the job you are looking for, it's okay not to include, okay, them in the conversation. So you have to be ready for the tough questions. Tough questions are preguntas complicadas, difíciles, okay? Okay, and if you need time, si necesitas tiempo para un poco formarte en tu cabeza la respuesta más correcta ante preguntas más controvertidas, you can say the interviewer's name, for example, John. So in this, John, you are thinking about the next thing. Or, so John, you are asking me about my assertivity. Okay, so, and give a general question, okay? So it's okay to take a moment to think, and once in a while, de vez en cuando, it's important to say, sorry, I don't know. But always be positive and not to talk bad about other employers. So sometimes you can find with what is called in English and in all languages, unethical or not recommendable questions, okay? Not recommendable questions. So it's illegal to ask questions like, what political party do you support? Or what religion are you? Did you go to church regularly? Or are you married? Or what is your sexual orientation? Do you drink alcohol? Do you have girlfriend or boyfriend? Well, sometimes you have to say that you have a physical disability because it's important to know before some. Or what is your IQ, your intelligence, or how much do you weigh? Weight is how many kilograms do you weigh? Or do you have any problem, for example, if talking about your past military life, any problem? So some questions, well, I'm sure you know many more things, many more things than me about it, but some unethical or not recommendable questions are these ones, okay? So important, how to dress, how to dress for an interview. How to dress for an interview. So, well, it depends on many circumstances, okay? So it depends on the job, it depends on the factory, sorry, it depends on the business. But undoubtedly, sin duda, the dress, the clothes, the job attire in an interview is quite important, okay? So what to wear in general terms, guidelines when you are dressing for an interview. Well, better conservative clothes. Conservative clothes is not very flashy, for example, colors. The shoes, polish shoes is clean. Proper grooming is, well, your hair well well cleaned, regular makeup if you want, and that everything in your dressing code is more or less similar. So perhaps it's better to be conservative, okay? Well, this depend on the job, but I think it's better, at least for the first impression, cover tattoos, not to use jewelry too loud, so very visual, and it's more important that in the interview they see the words, your skills, your abilities, and don't look at your tattoos or your jewelry or your dirty shoes or whatever it is, okay? So before and after the interview, it's important to be 15 minutes early for the interview at least. Okay, obviously it's important that you plan your route, above all if you live in big cities, because you should be able to avoid traffic problems and to be punctual. I think it's quite important to be punctual in an interview, and it's important to show confidence. Perhaps you don't have to be arrogant, but you have to show confidence, okay? Important always to be positive while you are waiting, and when you are in the interview, don't complain. Es importante no quejarse, at least at the beginning, okay? And when leaving the interview, cuando acabas la entrevista, when leaving the interview, thanks the interviewer, thanks to the recruiter for his or her time, and shake hands, okay? So, well, it depends. Shake hands can be acceptable, but it depends of the business protocols or the country you are. And it's important as a recruiter and as a person who has been in the job, sending a thank you letter for the presence or for giving you the opportunity to take part in this interview. So thank you, the interviewer, or thank you, the person who has come to spend the time in order to try to take the potential job, and you can again talk about your interest in that concrete position. Well, here some questions they can ask you, or can you ask yourself, que te puedes preguntar a ti mismo antes de ir a la entrevista. Do I have copies of my resume? ¿Llevo conmigo copias de mi CV? Because sometimes you have already sent your CV, but they say, do you have a copy, please, of your resume? Okay. Important to have, if possible, references or addresses and phones about some of your previous references. Reassure or make sure that you will be on time. dress correctly and appropriately, so be conservative. Even if you are tired or whatever, you always sit up, look alert, look interested in what the other person is saying, not criticize others or past employers, past co-workers, eye contact to look at the person, remember the interviewer's name and uses in the interview, not only if you are the person who is being interviewed, but the person who is asking for the questions, and always to thank the interview at the end and send a letter if possible, to say again thank you, and obviously see if you have turned off all of your electronic devices like smartphones, whatever, cell phones, whatever. Some reasons why people are hired, razones por las que a veces las personas no son contratadas: poor personal appearance, to be too aggressive with the interviewer, not be able to express yourself. So not to be articulate, not to be good at speaking about or at answering the questions. You are not able to talk about your career or your degrees in a very correct and serious way, because perhaps you don't show interest or enthusiasm, because perhaps you look extremely nervous and you don't have confidence and poise. Poise is saber estar. Because you don't participate in the activities they propose, because you are too interested on money and in no other things, because you don't have poor scholastic records, you don't have the enough qualifications, the studies, the masters, the management of languages you are required, because you don't look very interesting to begin from los puestos más bajos. O unwilling es que tú quieres directamente pasar. Unwilling es parecer no estar dispuesto. Willing es que estás dispuesto. Unwilling, parecer que no estás dispuesto. To start at the bottom, es decir, empezar por puestos menores y luego promote. Increasingly, make excuses for your poor record, for your poor studies. Bueno, es que no pude estudiar, these kind of things. Lack of tact is obviously that you are not educated, that you are very aggressive, or you are rude, because you are not mature, because you are not courtesy. Lack of is falta de, lack of courtesy, lack of maturity, lack of tact, lack of interest, so lack of es tener una falta de algo, okay? And when you criticize and you condemn other co-workers, you work in the past, lack of social understanding, so it's important to be empathico about the situation. Okay. Lack of social understanding, a marked dislike for schoolwork or the work in general. So you have to look someone quite interested in work. And these are the main ideas when you go to a job interview. When you go to a job interview, some questions, some recommendations, some possible unethical questions you're going to be asked in the interview. So to be prepared and to make pauses when you feel that something is quite difficult to answer. So these kind of things, okay? So you have to be able to bear in mind, to take into account the previous of the interview. So perhaps do mock interview, practice interview, as if interviews, to feel confident, to feel not nervous, to be prepared, to be punctual, to be clear at the time of explaining your studies, your previous work, whatever it is, okay? guys. Okay, so right now we are going to we are going to watch okay, we are going to watch a video about precisely these kind of things. Okay, precisely these kind of things. So we are going to watch in video what we have just seen in this presentation. So we are going, you have, okay, you can see with you have time or whatever. So how to prepare for an interview when with video, which I think it can be interested. A second. A second. Okay.
Hold tight, please. This is Anna on a bus going to an interview for a job as a sales executive at Tip Top Trading, one of London's fastest growing companies. How are you feeling, Anna?
Oh, a little nervous, but I really want this job.
Well, don't worry, Anna. As long as you say the right things, you'll be fine.
The right things? Like what?
You need to sell yourself. Be confident, not arrogant, and give examples. Like a good example that comes to mind, I'm particularly proud of. Timekeeping is important to me.
Oh, right. Thanks. Perhaps you can come with me?
Sorry, Anna. You're on your own now, but we'll be listening in. Look, you've just arrived. Good luck.
Come in. Hello, I'm Paul, the manager of Tip Top Trading. And you must be...
It's Anna.
Yes, very good. Thanks for coming. Now, somewhere in this pile, I've got your CV.
Is that it there?
Oh, yes. Thanks, Hannah. Your qualifications look impressive, but I was wondering what sales experience can you bring to our company?
I worked in a shop once.
Oh, Anna, sell yourself. Give a good example.
Oh, right. Well, a good example that comes to mind is when I was involved with a campaign to promote and sell a new range of clothes. I loved doing it, and it was... Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Here's your tea, Paul.
Oh, thanks, Denise. Now, Anna, it looks like you've achieved a lot during your time at university. Could you give me an example of good team working during your time there?
Sorry, I forgot the sugar.
Thank you, Denise.
So you want an example? I was the treasurer of the debating society at university. That was okay, I suppose.
Come on, Anna. Be more enthusiastic. The debating society is exciting.
I mean, I'm particularly proud of how I organized the finances for the debating society. We had a very small budget, and I had to make decisions on what to buy.
I like it. I'm particularly proud of. Positive, but not boasting. You're doing well.
Very impressive. So you're a good planner, Anna. We like organised people here. Whoops, silly me. I seem to have spilt tea over your CV.
Oh, do you need some help?
Oh no, I'm sure it'll dry out. Carry on, please.
Also, timekeeping is important to me.
Timekeeping is important to me. That's good.
I always try to complete my work on time. At university, I never handed my assignments in late.
That's good to hear. We like punctuality here.
Excuse me, Paul. Sorry it's a bit late, but I thought you might like a biscuit with your tea.
Thanks. Oh, lovely custard creams. Now, Hannah, finally I wanted to ask you what exactly made you apply for this job at this company.
Oh, well, the reason I applied is
Yes, Anna. Do you need a bit more time to think? What's she going to say? How would you answer that? Join us next time to find out. Before we go, here's a reminder of some of the great lines Anna's used today.
a good example that comes to mind. I'm particularly proud of. Timekeeping is important to me.
Until next time, bye-bye.
I'm particularly proud of. Time.
So, well, we have seen that saying the same with different words. So saying something simple with vocabulary marketing can change the whole experience for the interviewer and for the recruiter. So, well, apart from that in the video appears expressions like I apply for the reason why I apply for this job, questions, what are, how did you do in your university? Did you participate in many different activities? So a good example that comes to my mind is, bueno, si te preguntan, ¿y has trabajado alguna vez en este tema? Bueno, one example or a good example that comes to my mind was once when I was working, or I'm particularly proud of, estoy particularmente orgulloso, I'm particularly proud of belonging to the Divide Society in the university because it gave me the opportunity to talk with other people. Or timekeeping. Timekeeping is perdonad, chicos, cuando siempre entregas tus cosas, tu assignments son lo que te han pedido, your project, etcétera, en forma y en puntualidad. So timekeeping is important to me. So this kind of, I want you to see, not only for my classes or for being able to pass the exam, it's important that you see this kind of videos because it's important for your job and it's a good way to know more vocabulary about something can be your job in the future. Okay. 1 second, please. Okay, so 1 second. So it's a way to see these things. In fact, después de la clase, no, porque no voy a poder, pero esta tarde, a partir de las 9 de la noche o así, os voy a poner otra pestaña nueva en vuestros documentos en la cual solo va a ir una página, dos páginas web, que son una de la BBC y de la otra de British Council, en la cual se habla o todos los vídeos que aparecen o todos los temas que aparecen o todas las readings o todas las listening tienen que ver en diferentes niveles. El vuestro sería A2, un poco de B1 sin llegar, bueno, pues conversaciones sobre business, sobre companies, sobre interviews, sobre expressions that are important to use when you are talking to a manager and things or stuff like that. Okay, so you have this video and now I'm going to play the second video I would like to see because it's an easy way to refresh your memory and to introduce new vocabulary in your business world. Repito que os voy a subir una serie de pestañas en Moodle donde vosotros vais a poder encontrar diferentes ejercicios de gramática, diferentes textos relacionados con business en vuestro nivel, evidentemente, vídeos, etcétera, porque de esa manera no solo creo que vais a aprender, que yo creo que es importante también, quizás lo más importante debería ser que de estas clases o de este curso aprendieseis cosas, no sé deciros cuánto, pero aprendieseis cosas y que sepáis que hay fuentes fiables, como son las del British Council y la BBC, donde podéis encontrar este tipo de business videos, business tests, where you can learn different things. Okay, so now I'm going to include you the second video that I want to one second. The second video, well, this is how to prepare now job interview. One second, I want to share.
Están hechas al horno, por eso tienen...
One second. So we are going to...
50% menos de grasa. Buenísimas.
So in the previous exercise, we have seen the steps or the words or the vocabulary you should use when doing an interview. And here we are going to see one of the many job interviews you can see or you can use or you can be or you can see the representation of it when you do this. One second, please. Sometimes it's necessary to see these things. Okay, now.
Welcome to English class. Job interview.
Hello,
Hello, sir. How may I assist you?
I am here for a job interview.
May I know your name, please?
My name is Simon.
I see. You can go in the office room.
Where is it?
Go straight and turn right.
Got it. Thanks. Good morning.
Good morning. I am Daniel. I am the head of this company.
Nice to meet you, sir. I am Simon.
Nice to meet you too. Simon, how did you find about this job?
I saw an ad on your website.
Tell me something about yourself.
I am from London. I have an MCom degree from Oxford University. I graduated in 2018. I am working as a sales manager currently.
Where are you currently working?
I am currently working at a sunshine company.
What is your role?
I am a sales manager. I manage the meetings and help my clients in their problems. I also take care about sales.
How long have you been working there?
I have been working there for the last 2 years.
Why do you want to leave your current job? What are your qualifications?
I have an MCom degree. I have also a diploma in office management.
May I see your CV?
Here you are.
Well done. You got A+ in every semester. What are your strengths?
I am very loyal and hardworking. I am punctual as well. I work fast and good.
How many words can you type in a minute?
I can type 42 words in a minute.
What are your weaknesses?
Sometimes I help others a lot. I can't sit idle.
What is your biggest weakness?
I am very emotional.
Well, that's not very bad. How do you manage situations? If you have a lot of work,
I am very organized. I work on weekends if I have a lot of work. I have never let my boss down.
where do you see yourself in next 5 years?
I will be working as a manager in this company. I will be launching a new app.
Your personality is good. You have experience and smart mind. I think you are the right person for this job.
I will never disappoint you.
Congrats, you got this job.
Thank you so much, sir.
Do you have some questions about this job?
Yes, sir. I have a few questions. May I ask,
Sure.
is the job full-time or part-time?
This is a full-time job.
What are the hours?
Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. 40 hours a week.
How much is the salary?
$10,000 a month.
That's a great deal. Are there benefits?
Yes, we offer free medical insurance and a free tour for 2 people.
Sounds good.
When can you join?
I need to collect my stuff from my old office. I can join this company after 1 day.
I will be waiting for you. You have to be here before 8 a.m.
No problem. I am punctual. I will be here on time.
Then see you again.
Sure, sir.
Second.
If you love this video, please subscribe.
Okay, so obviously, as you see, he's going to have a very good salary. He's going to have a very good salary. La razón por la cual, es decir, el nivel A2, B1, que sería el vuestro, contendría este tipo de expresiones o este tipo de conversaciones. Las del primer vídeo son más realistas, pero las del segundo las elijo así precisamente para que veáis, es un poco robótico, evidentemente lo que uno no debe hacer en una entrevista, pero es una manera de que vosotros tengáis tiempo de ver, pues bueno, de ver las expresiones. I am punctual, these are my strengths, mis fortalezas, my weakness, how much is my salary, how many works, how many hours, it's full-time job or part-time job, whatever. So today I'm going to finish the class here, but el martes, no el lunes, el martes tenemos la clase a las 4. Entonces, ese martes estaré desde las 4 a las 5:20 para recuperar los 20 minutos que hoy no voy a poder dar por razones personales, ¿vale? Entonces, seguiremos con lo que no hemos visto hoy. Quiero poneros, quiero que veáis exámenes reales de varios niveles para que os podáis hacer una idea, y es importante que os voy a subir una pestaña en la cual tendréis acceso a readings, listenings de todo tipo en vuestro nivel, y hablando siempre sobre business and organization. ¿Entendido? Pues muchas gracias a todos y nos vemos el martes a las 4, y recordad que estaremos más tiempo, estaremos hasta las 5:20 aproximadamente. ¿Vale? Muchas gracias, Carmen. Gracias. Hasta el próximo martes. Gracias, muy amables. Adiós. Igualmente, Ana.